Okay, we are now going to be on week 1, day 2, which is going to be worksheet 112 front, homework 112 back. And this is going to be the VCV pattern part 2 from what we started with week 1, lesson 1 with pages 111. Okay, so we're going to start by taking a look at this word here today. Keeping in mind, when you see a new word, the first thing you need to do is identify if there's a final stable syllable. You can see in this particular word there is not. You are also looking for a suffix. Okay, if you don't know what the word is, then for you, this S, it could possibly be a suffix S. Okay, so we'll go ahead and box it, and we'll identify later as we work through this whether or not it truly is a suffix S or it is just part of the word. Okay, once you've done that, then you need to identify the vowels in the word, and that will help you to try to find those VCV patterns. Okay, so this particular word has 2 vowels. There's 2 A's. All right, at that point you can see that L is a consonant, so you do have a VCV pattern. All right, we're going to take a look at a couple of different things and just test this word out. Okay, in the past, we've known when we see a VCV pattern like this, if we look through the word, most of the time in the past, we would split it between the first vowel and the consonant, which again in the past would leave us thinking, okay, that's an open accented vowel, so we'll make it long. But if you try that open accented vowel and make it long, then you now, oh, I forgot the combination AR. You also need to look for your combinations, digraphs, trigraphs, and yes, there is a combination AR there. So if you try to sound this out now, you've got A, U, R, ms, alarms, alarms. Does that sound like a word that you're familiar with? If you think about it and you realize, no, not really, then that's possibly not going to work for where you're going to split it. Okay, so then try your split here. Okay, once you do that, then you realize that you have an A followed by an L there with no split. So put the 2 dots above it. That then says ah, right? All arms, all arms, all arms. Again, doesn't sound like something that's familiar to me. So I'm going to take the split back at this point. I'm going to go back to the original split. I'm going to think about the rule that we just talked about in our last lesson video, but we remember that those were open unaccented vowels that happen to be long. All right, but that still puts us with alarms, excuse me, which is not going to be correct. Okay, so that can't be it. So that brings us to part 2 of this rule. Okay, and part 2 of this rule, based on the rule card we talked about yesterday, is that sometimes on an open unaccented vowel, A makes a schwa sound. Remembering that the schwa says schwa says Who remembers how you code the schwa sound? Yes, that is correct. It is going to be an upside down E. Okay, so now when you try to sound that out, you've got R, ms, alarms, alarms. Does that sound like a familiar word? Yes, it does. At that point, you can also identify that there is a base word, which would be alarm. So that is a suffix S, meaning talking about more than one alarm. Excuse me, something tickling my throat. So there's the first example that covers the second part of this rule, which is that a schwa A can also be found on open unaccented vowels. Okay, now let's take a look at another word which covers the short I portion of that rule. Okay, same thing as last time. You're looking for final stable syllables. There's not one. You're looking for a suffix. There's not one. You're looking for your vowels. Keeping in mind, you do have V and V. Yes, E is a vowel, but notice that it's got an I here. Okay, So more likely this is long I consonant, silent E here. All right, so we're not going to code that one as if it's part of a VCV pattern. V is a consonant, put your little C in between, and now you're going to work towards where you're actually going to split this word. Okay? So, if we start with the first split here, and what we know in the past, that's open accented. So, we think it's accented, maybe because we're not sure, so we make it long. Well, if we sound that out using the long I consonant silent E, then this says d-I, die, v-ide, divide. Does that sound like something that we know? No. Okay, so at that point we know that that's not going to be the case for that. Okay? So, let's try short. Short I. D-I, div-ide, divide, divide. Does that sound like something that we're familiar with? Yes, it does. Okay, now we need to figure out where the accent's going to be in this word. Do you say we need to divide that problem, or do you say we need to divide that problem? Then we can hear the accent's going to be at the end. Okay, so again, that covers the second part of that vowel consonant vowel rule, which is a new concept for us. Okay, again, keep in mind this is found in your little reference book. If you cannot find yours, please have someone let me know so I can get you a copy of that. Okay? All right. Because we've talked about previously the schwa A, I do have a picture card for schwa A. So why don't you talk to somebody around you and see if you can think about what might be on my picture card for the schwa A sound, which says So you can pause it here, give you a second to talk to somebody about this. Okay. Picture card. Banana. Banana. And you might remember that was one of the words on our wall card. Banana. So you can see with the split that it's a schwa A. All right, so it's got the upside down E. So when you see this card, that would be banana, Okay? All right. Anybody have any questions on that? Don't hesitate to ask.